Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anteup and welcome back. Today's video will be covering an updated guide slash build video for the Bowazon for Project Diablo 2 Season 2. We're a little over 3 weeks into the new season. The first thing you're going to notice is I am wearing blue armor. So that is pretty cool, huh? So just about everything is different since the last build guide that I had done for this character. There's a ton of them floating around out there, but you know, I want to put out an updated video in comparison to what I had last time, just because it is significantly different. So I did end up picking up a 6 open socket Bariza. The base damage, or the maximum damage, was 255. I threw 5 ED jewels in there. There were about 30 to 35% ED, and then 140 damage to undead, 37 to attack rating against undead, only because I did not have another jewel to throw in there. So ultimately, I will put Ohm runes in here. I do not need any more IIS with the way I have this character set up. Next item is the Veil of Steel. My cousin found this one for me and hooked me up with it. I slammed it for 1 open socket. Could have been better, but for right now it's pretty good. And I did find another one myself, corrupted for, oh geez, what did it have? Life Leech? Yeah, Life Stolen per hit. So I could still puzzle box that, possibly get 2, so that may be a project later down the road. And hopefully I can afford a 3 open socket even further down the road, but those are quite pricey, and as you see, my wealth is pretty low right now. So next item, I have the Cat's Eye Amulet with a good dexterity corruption, or I'd say decent, but I got it off a fellow YouTuber and it was better than what I was using, so very solid amulet. And the next one is the Tyrael's Might. So it did roll pretty low, and it's unfortunate that I only got 1 open socket on the corruption, but I kind of wanted the style points for having Tyrael's Might, plus I've never used one before, nor have I found one, so I was pretty excited to use it. My cousin found it, and he corrupted it himself. I was using Fortitude before, which technically does more damage, so you ask why we wear the Tyrael's Might. Well, I did end up changing my ring from a Ravenfrost to a Wisp Projector, so that enhanced my damage quite a bit with a 3 Heart of the Wolverine. And, you know, I think it's about the same damage with the way I have it set up now. And this also gave me more points into strength. So I'll ultimately be able to take away out of the strength, add into the dexterity, and that should help even things out a little bit. But having the cannot be frozen on the armor, plus a faster run walk, was just awesome. I think I'm going to end up trying to get a 2 or 3 open socket a little later on when I have more runes to trade, or more gear to trade at that point. But moving on. I traded for this dual leech ring, which at the time Shaco was worth Vex to 1 high rune depending on the PDR and if it was corrupted or not. So I think I got a really good trade on this one. This is a really solid ring. I found some more Travs. I have not corrupted them because I do not have a spare set yet. And I have a habit of bricking things, so I figured I'd wait until I have another couple of pairs before I decide to corrupt it. Just like any GG gear you want to hold on to, you don't just go and slam it without having a spare. I am still using the same Laying of Hands. I have not found any better. I do ultimately want to get enhanced damage and higher damage to demons, but it's okay for now. And I have a Nosferatu's Coil that I found and slammed it for 12% faster run walk. I do really like this corruption. I do not plan on changing this anytime soon. I'll look into seeing if there's any better corruptions for it, but as far as I know, this is the max run walk. And that is kind of what I'm gearing towards, ED, faster run walk, that kind of stuff. So I am holding on to this, and the rest of the rolls were really good, so very, very good belt. I do have an Atmoscarab in here. I was just doing some play testing with it. I do not recommend this to normally be ran. It's not good enough to really allow you to run maps that have too many Fizz immunes, because you have to use Guided Arrow with a lot of them, and when there's a big group of them, it just takes way too much time. But it is a fun item, and it's good for some really beefy targets. If it's taking too long to kill them with the magic arrow, you could always throw this on and you'll annihilate them in like 2 seconds. So I leave it in there for occasional use. It's still pretty fun. I updated most of my charms. Not all of them have been updated yet. There's still some crappy ones in here like this one. And the 313 is not too great, but it's a placeholder. And it is slowly starting to get better here. I've been doing a lot of mapping, and she is a ton of fun. And that about covers all the charms there. So let's go ahead and show you what my mercenary is using. I did end up getting a Faith Bow. It only rolled 13 Fanaticism, which is unfortunate, but you know, it does get the job done. Solid bow, you need it for this build. It also makes it so I don't really need to throw any more IS with any additional items, or throw them into, or get IAS jewels and throw it into my helmet or armor at this point, or weapon, so it frees up a slot. And it is absolutely critical for this build. I did find a Templar's Might, and I puzzle boxed it for one open socket. I wasn't ballsy enough to corrupt it because it was my only one and I needed it, and they were quite expensive at the time, and I didn't have enough wealth to even think about buying one. So the Hell Rune's in there because, you know, it's 198 strength, and the mercenary does not have a lot of strength to begin with. And I have other items supporting that just so she can wear the armor. I have Endariel's Visage. I think there's just an IAS jewel in there just for fun. I didn't know what else to throw in there, so I just stuck that in there. This was also self-found. Still using the same CBF boots. They're absolute shit, but she needs CBF. IK belt with strength corruption to help wear the armor. And some Grave Palms because, once again, it has strength. It has damage undead and attack rating undead. Deadly Strike doesn't really matter for these classes, but the strength helps wear the armor, and that's ultimately what you need. Is you have the 2 auras going from this, and then you have the vigor that naturally comes with her, which is very nice. And the skill tree has changed quite a bit from the last time as well, so we'll start with the bow and crossbow skill tree. I have still 1 point in the magic arrow, max multiple shot, 1 point in the guided arrow. This is going to be your cookie cutter for this playstyle. I don't see it being any other way. Passive, I have changed this quite a bit. Now that I have a lot more dexterity, I no longer need penetrate. I may further down the road put 1 point into pierce, 1 point into penetrate just to have them, but even then I'm not too sure that's necessary. But you still max critical strike, as many points as you can into evade, as many points as you can into dodge, 1 into all the prerequisites all the way up to Valkyrie, and then I max Valkyrie. Now, I know a lot of people out there don't run Valkyrie because the Bowazon's so powerful that you can just spam multiple shot and run, spam multiple shot, run, and you just clear the entire map that way. Unfortunately, you can still die really easily that way, and I loathe being one-shot by Quill Rats and other enemies, so I do stick with the Valks for now. I may change it later down the line when I'm better geared. I have more resistance, I have more life, that kind of deal. And once again, it's very helpful to help distract elites with Fizz Immune or that are really dangerous to deal with. So I will continue to use them, but I do outpace them a lot of the time, so it's a little tough. I'm almost getting to the point where I should transition out of them, but I'm not quite ready for that yet. Maybe a little bit later when I get like an Annalius and the Hellfire Torch and that kind of stuff. They'll bring my life up, they'll bring my all resistance up, and so point system almost exactly the same as last time. I do need a respec because my points need to be reallocated from strength to dexterity and vitality. Now, the reason I have so many points into strength is because I need to wear my Veil of Steel. I threw a enhanced damage jewel in there. I know you're supposed to do 15 minus requirements and then have, I believe it's max damage or enhanced damage that goes with that, but those are pretty pricey as well. And I didn't really want to throw an expensive jewel in there, knowing that I'm going to be changing this helmet out. So I just threw the points in there for the time being just so I could wear it, increase my damage, but I do plan on reallocating this relatively soon. So that's why I have so much strength in there, was really just to wear this guy here. So enough points to wear your Veil and the other gear, which Tyrael's doesn't require anything, and everything else is really low, so you won't have to worry about that too much. Most of your points into Dex, and this is where I go against the grain a little bit. I put more points into Vitality so I can have more increased health. It is lower right now because I just sold my Fortitude so I could wear the Tyrael's Might. So I was running about 950 life with higher resistance as well, just slightly higher. And it was making it so I would not get one shot by most things, and because I have an exuberant amount of life leech, I didn't really have a problem surviving. It was very rare that I'd end up dying. So I will need to get that Annie and the torch to help even things back out, because right now I do die really quickly, and I do not like that. So, let's take a look at the stats here. I'm running over the IAS recommendation for this build with the fanaticism, which I will fix once again once I have the Ohm runes in my Bariza here. And anything else that adds past that point, it is what it is, and that's perfectly fine. I don't plan on changing a lot of this other than just min-maxing better versions of everything that I have. FHR, maybe I need to add a little bit more into this. I'm not sure. I haven't really found a reason to quite yet. The whole idea is that you're not taking that much damage with this build, so this isn't super duper important, but if you find yourself running into crowds and you're getting hit and then you're getting stun locked or FHR locked, then you might want to put more points into it, maybe with some charms or something. Run walk is at 115 right now, which I'll show you in a couple of minutes here. I'll do a test run so you can see how quickly she moves. I'm running pretty minimal MF. I don't plan on increasing this. If anything, this number will go down in the near future. So that about covers it for all the gear, the stats. So let's go ahead and do a couple of test runs just so you can see what you can do. I'll do a quick map, and that should wrap up today's video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.